Hey everyone. So right out of the gate, I really liked the opening moment between Stussy and Kaku, where Kaku shows Stussy mercy by telling her to run and get out of here before Lucci comes back. Like, it's one of those consistencies with Kaku's characters I've always loved, where despite how much he's bound to his duties as a government agent, there's still those attachments that are harder for him to let go of. Like we saw it in Water 790's lobby where he saw he did have genuine regrets about needing to abandon his life as a shipwright, and now you're seeing it here in needing to break his ties with Stassi. Like, these are like genuine ties he's had to sever, and honestly, when all is said and done and One Piece reaches its conclusion, the one thing I do want to see from Kaku is him finally getting to live the life he wants as a shipwright or anything else he wants to do, whether that's part of the Galley Law Company, again, or on his own terms. Like, man has had dreams that have been forcibly ripped away from him, and more than any of the other Cyberpol agents we've seen, he's the one that kind of deserves his own slice of happiness. So, like, let him have that if possible. With that said, yeah, obviously Bonnie stole the show once again in this episode as we see her use her memory powers to replicate Luffy's Nika form. And it really is like one of those satisfying full circle moments of both father and daughter always looking to Nika for some kind of guidance in their life, but now not only does Bonnie get to see Nika firsthand because of Luffy, but using her powers to take that same form does feel like that pivotal moment where after everything she's been told she is, everything that's been said about her life being just as cursed as Kuma's, this is Bonnie fully taking control of her own destiny. Like that is the true power of Nika, the ability to inspire like so many, even more so. If it is kind of even more so, it is kind of fitting that this power fell into Luffy's lap. And on that note, this is gonna seem like a strange compliment, but I really do like the lighting in this episode, specifically when it focused in on Bonnie and Luffy and how it gave them that very ethereal presence, which in itself is kind of funny for the fact that it's followed up by a crazy ass plan in order to get rid of Mars by by projecting Luffy through the by projecting him through the sky like a Looney Tunes character using Luffy's rubber body. Like, it's one of those like goofy One Piece moments, but it's like, yeah, I can see Luffy doing shit like this. Um, and yeah, this episode ends with the Iron Giant coming back to life to stop the Elders and providing Luffy and the others the opportunity to escape. And I'm remembering now this is the point where the flashback occurs, and this is where the fun begins, because we've reached that point of no return. From here on, the story gets even more psychotic with every major reveal, to the point that it's kind of hard to find those moments where you can just take a breath, where you can just decompress. Like Oda reveals, like Oda is like back to back non-stop revealing one thing after another beyond this point, and yeah, so it's going to be a lot of overload, I think, for a lot of people. More than that, though, I'll be curious what certain Marines are going to do in the aftermath of this whole thing. Like, you can't just lay your eyes on something like that, like what happened on Egghead, and just ignore it. Like, questions are going to start being answered, and if the one asking doesn't get a straight answer, then they'll likely look for it on their own. Like, we've seen it happen before already with Fujitora and a few others, but this is where, like, I think the seeds really start being planted for the walls to kind of start caving in around the government. Like, it's like that even their own military force are going to start asking some questions. Like, it's not going to happen right away, mind you, but it will happen. No matter who you are, you don't walk away from something like this thinking this is normal. Like, something is up. Something just doesn't make any sense here, and like it's one of those things that is going to happen. And if the I think with how I think honestly with how the with how the series is like kind of focusing on Doll specifically, I think she's going to be one at least one of those big focal points that starts asking a lot of the major questions about about just what the fuck happened here, what the fuck is really going on behind the scenes. What does it mean to like what is the world government specifically? I think is like one of the things that's going to happen with Vice Admiral Dahl. Like, and or maybe I'm wrong, but it does feel like she's at least going to be at least one of the faces to focus on within the Marines of like to start asking these questions in a way. Um, Now, circling back to the giant, though, we see that the voice of presumably the first Joy Boy rings through Emmett's head, telling him to wait until the time is right to act. Now, obviously, Luffy is the last one to care about arbitrary concepts like prophecies and whatnot, but it is still interesting when looking at Wano with Zunisha and now Egghead with Emmett the Iron Giant, that these pieces were placed on the board waiting in the shadows for like centuries for the next Nika to step up. Almost as if like the first Joy Boy knew that one day the person who would take up this mantle would appear, and now that this person has arrived, suddenly more like Emmett are popping up to Luffy's aid. And I think it's fair to say like the pretty much the buck it just doesn't stop at Emmett the Iron Giant or Zunisha the ancient elephant of the ancient Zunisha the ancient elephant. Like I think that we are gonna I don't know how, when, or why, but I think we are gonna start seeing more and more of a lot of these more familiar beings who knew Joy Boy back in the day start popping up. I think, but or who knows? Maybe Emmett and Zunisha are the last ones, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to some. I think we might. But either way, like it's like that legacy is starting to take form more and more. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and on Blue Sky, and let's Crunchyroll. Be sure to click the bell, hit the subscribe button, and just everywhere, guys. Dark Knight of Illinois signing off. Later, everyone.